Creation Challenge, week number 1. That's what we're digging into over the month of August. If you have had a course stuck in your head, or you've had this little niggling thing in the back of your brain like, I would really love to create an online course. Well, August is your month. This month, we will be creating a course. And at the end of August, you will have your course in some software ready to sell. Are you excited? I am. As always, this is Strategy with Sally, our weekly live, but our focus is on the Course Creation Challenge. So hang on in as we wait for all the VIPs to jump in. We kick off with our theme sparkle song, and we'll be back in 3.5, and we'll kick things right off.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hello, welcome to week number 1 of the Course Creation Challenge. And we will be coming to you live every single Tuesday at 9 o'clock throughout the month of August. That's 9 a.m. Melbourne time. Smart people Google for for their local time. And every week we'll build upon the previous week. So you can take that amazing idea that you think you've got hidden in that beautiful brain of yours. We're going to map it out. We're going to turn it into a course. We're going to stick it in some software, and it's going to be ready to sell by the end of August. I hope you're super excited, just as I am. This is one of my most favorite challenges that we run, because I really, truly believe that every single person has a course inside them. You've learned something in your life that you have that you can help people with. And if you want to turn it into a course, then it's going to be amazing. You can even make some money for that. Now, let me take a little step back and confess. I am the chef that does not cook at home. We have been strategizing for the last 5 days, 6 days straight. And I didn't get a chance to go in and check all the emails from the last challenge. With the time zone change and the new workbook, there was some missing links in the emails. I promise you, by next week, they will all be there and ready to go. But I will hook you up with the workbook, and you will find it on the Replay Hub, which I'll be sharing with you later. So it's okay. We've got a whole month together. And I have to say, this is what I'm always saying, right? Imperfect action at its best. Better that it's out there than it's not, even if the links are broken. But it is totally my fault. I should have checked all the automations properly before the start. But like I said, we've been so busy building for other people and other clients. And then we've been stuck like in a room strategizing for the last few days, like all through the weekend and everything. So this is half a morning off the strategy, stuck in a room together with the team. But just wanted to apologize for those people who got this morning's email with all the broken links. That's on me, as I said, the chef that doesn't cook at home. All right, let's get stuck into the content. Every day you will get a short assignment for the Course Creation Challenge. Let's have a look at the agenda for today. All right, so today what we're going to be talking about is a little bit of housekeeping. I've already shared some of it, the chef that doesn't cook at home. Also, we'll be looking at what is your inner sparkle that you're going to share with the world and how to find it if you're not sure. Then we're going to be talking about your course idea audit. We're going to give you a numbering system so that you can work out which would be the best and the fastest course idea to take to market. And then I did have the statistics, but I think I left them in the house. So what I can tell you is courses are not going anywhere, right? That's pretty much it. And then, of course, we're going to end with some home play, what you will have to do this week, including going live, and that's supposed to have day 1 on it. There we go. And your actual home play as well. And I digress for one moment. I've just got my first coffee of the day. Thank you, my beautiful husband. All right, let's kick things off. So every day or every week, you will get a short assignment. And as we move closer and closer to the end of the month, you will be creating your course. And by the end of this week, you will have your course idea ready to go. And by the end of the challenge, you will be building your course, and we'll have an awesome graduation when you finish building your course and have it ready to sell. So this week is broken down into 2 main sections. The first section is your inner sparkle, or, your course idea. I like to call it your inner sparkle. And then the second one is your actual course idea audit. Now, before we really dig in, I want to share a little story with you. You see, there is so much information out there that you hear today about, following your bliss, or, do what lights you up. And you've probably seen it on the web, on the TV, loads of books, loads of articles, and you're given copious amounts of people are there to give you advice on what sounds right. Well, the answer is, what is right? Right? So let me explain a little bit about my own personal story as an example. You see, years ago when we lost our son Dylan, I realized how short life was. And that's when I decided I actually truly just wanted to do what I love. You know, I had to follow my passion, and I was tired of working for somebody else. I was disillusioned, and I was at this sort of a crossroad in my life, and I had so many questions like, who am I without my career, without my job? And we're just going to say, no, we're not answering that call. Go away. Who am I without my career? Who am I without my job? And I'm just going to, sorry, I think that incoming call, which has, give me one moment, please, has broken my presentation that I have for you. Oh, the joys of live. Give me one moment, please, because if I don't have this ready when I get to the section, it's going to be no good. Won't be a moment. I can tell you, I get this one phone call probably 3 times a day, and I'm not interested, but they keep calling me. All right, who knows that feeling? All right, where are we here? All right, it's totally broken everything, so I've lost my notes up there as well. That's okay, we can continue on. So, where were we? My personal story. So, what I did was I realized that I wanted to really do something that I loved. So, I really jumped on this bandwagon of follow your passion, follow your bliss. And for many, many years, I tried lots of things that took my fancy, like, would I be an artist? Should I be a photographer? I did that for a while. Graphic designing, I did that for a while. I was singing and busking on the street. I did that for a while. I was making jewelry, and all of these things, I was happy for a while. But I really soon found that a lot of these things, I ended up I lost a lot of fulfillment in them. And also, I can tell you, my bank account wasn't looking great either, right? So after I had my daughter, what I did was I actually went back to study. I thought, look, hey, I'm doing photography, I'm doing some graphic design on the side. Maybe I should get a few pieces of paper to go along with that. And I think what I was doing was trying to prove to myself that I had the knowledge, I had the expertise. And so I began doing a communication design degree, and I actually really loved it. That's when I decided to go on to further study. So before I even finished my graphic design and communication design degree, I started teaching, because I did find that in the classroom, as I was learning, I was in my mid to sort of 30s, and I was helping the teachers, and I'm like, I think I might really love to teach people. So I then went on to study and get my master's in education, and I thought this was going to be my happy ending, but it wasn't, right? My pathway through all the study was really misaligned, because at the end of it, I knew I loved teaching. I knew I had the skill at it, but what the hell was going on? Like, why was I not happy? So, following my passion, it sounded really delightful at the time, but I read this book, and it was called Good to Great by Jim Collins, okay? And this book, it allowed me to come to the realization that not only should I have something that lights me up, like is my passion, But also, there's a few other things I need to take into account, and I've taken a screenshot for you. Inside the book, or not the book, this is my version of it, and it's called the hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept is, what are you deeply passionate about? So what truly lights you up inside? And there is some questions that you can ask yourself as you're trying to work this out. Now, I have the questions written, but because of that stupid call, the questions themselves I have lost. So let me go and reopen that. All right, so the questions you want to ask yourself about your passion. So to figure out what your actual passion is, you want to write down all the things that truly make you happy. So this might be a combination of your hobbies, okay, and some interests that you have. For example, maybe you really enjoy baking, right? Or sewing as a hobby. So what you're going to do is make a list of things that you're deeply passionate about. Now, when you've written this list, these are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. Number 1, what am I doing in this task? Right? So it allows you to think about, what are the steps that you're doing in this task? What am I feeling when I'm doing this task? And what am I thinking when I'm doing this task? So what you're going to come up with and see as you write down all these things that you're passionate about is a common theme, right? There will be a theme or a thread that links them together that makes them similar in some kind of way. And it's going to show you clearly what is your passions, okay? And why you're actually passionate about those things. Now, the second thing you're going to do is your gifts, right? The skills that you have. Now, there are lots of different skills that you might have. And now, how do you work out what your skills are? Things that you maybe have studied, okay, or you've trained for. These are things that you've learned over time, and you've probably also refined over time. And these gifts are, sometimes they're things that you're actually born with, and you don't always easily recognize them either. So you could ask people, what do you think are some of my gifts? When you think of me, what gifts do you think that I have? So these are also things that people often thank you for, all right? So, or you could be in a conversation and you find that in that situation, it's a skill that you've got that you can add really good advice around. And like I said, go out and ask some friends about it. Now, for me, my skills are automation. I decided that I liked automation one day and I went deep on automation. Now, I haven't got a piece of paper from studying at a university, but I have studied through many courses and mentors to get that skill set. The other one is designing. I love to design. I taught designing. I have the piece of paper as a graphic designer and a communication designer. Also, teaching people. I love it. I love breaking down something that someone's going to teach into actionable tasks that actually help them learn. And of course, sales and marketing. Who knew that I would end up falling in love with sales and marketing? And I'm good at it. So some of these gifts that you might have are through mentoring, right? So don't just believe that you've got to go and get a piece of paper for that skill set. It could come via learning through books and online courses. And again, I want you to start asking yourself questions when you're helping people with this, like, what am I doing? What am I feeling? And what am I thinking? So that's the second one. your skills and your gifts. And sometimes they're innately in you and you don't even realize it. I remember I was out at a conference one day and we were talking about doing sales calls. And I was like, I just don't understand why people are so scared of them, because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is asking questions and showing them a solution, and then they're going to be an adult and make a decision if they want to buy it. It has nothing to do with me. All I can do is give them the resources. And somebody said to me, they go, you know what? That's probably the reason why it just feels easy to you, is because it's an innate skill. Now, I did learn the skill, like the framework about how to run a sales call, but I wasn't ever fully scared like I hear a lot of other people being scared of, because at the end of the day, I'm just asking questions and giving resources. So I guess for me, it was a skill set that I didn't realize was probably an inner sparkle that I got. But then, of course, I went on and continued to develop that. Now, the third part is the economics, which is tied to the community. Now, economics, which this is where your community comes in, and how will the thing that you teach and help people with contribute to the community and allow you to make connections with the community. So your life so far is a path of lots of lessons that you've learned, right? And the values of yourself that you hold close to your heart, you know, that can be there to help people in certain communities or certain tribes. So for me, course creators, that's you guys that are here today. This does not have to be a business or a career related thing, but often it is, okay? So there was a client of mine who, I'll give you a really good example. She loved making and helping handmade artists, okay? And she would organize large vendor events that people would come to. And she came to me feeling really confused about, you know, what is her skill? What are her gifts? What is it that she can help people with? And it was through this process that she realized she's actually really good at organizing markets and vendor events. And also that she could teach them how to not just sit behind the table at that market, like how to get up and talk to people, and also how to lay out your table in a way that makes everything on your table look valuable but not too expensive, by putting something really expensive on the table that makes everything else look extremely valuable. Now, when she realized this, she found her unique inner sparkle, right? She was passionate about handmade artists, right? She was extremely organized, that she could create, and she ran, and still probably does, I haven't spoken to her for a very long time, but she used to run these, were the biggest Etsy market in a state here in Australia. And we all know who Etsy is, right? And then she could help the community by helping the people running markets be better, right? So when you're thinking about how you can help community, which then, of course, drives the economy, I want you to ask yourself, you know, what did I teach myself about that particular community? You know, how could they benefit from your particular lessons, your gifts, your passions, your skills? And that will help you find your tribe, right? So that you're not just blindly going into this course creation, you're actually thinking, how am I going to build a community around my passion, my skills, my gifts, right? Rather than just going, oh, here's a thing, let's make a course on it. I want you to actually think about it. All right, so that is the hedgehog concept to help you map out what it is that could potentially be your next online course. All right, now, what we're then going to do, once you've done this, what I would want you to do, and I'm just going to bring you back to me for a moment. This month is the Course Creation Challenge month. What I would love from you is that this be your only learning and development that you do this month. Because you've still got a business to run. You've still got a job to go to, potentially children to feed or yourself to feed, sleep to have, right? So you've got lots of other things. Let this be your only learning and development, which is actually going to help you get to that goal at the end of this month. Now, whenever I run this challenge, the group of people that attend gets smaller and smaller by the end of the month, and I want you to be that 10% that actually make it to the end of the month and end up building your course with us. Can you promise me that? Yeah? Awesome. All right. So let's now move on to the second part of this, which is figuring out what your course is going to be about. And I have a ranking system to help you. So after you've mapped out your gifts, your skills, your passions, and how you can help the community, I want you to think of what is one problem I can solve and what is the solution to that problem. And that will be your course idea. So, for example, my first course was how to teach people to hit the go live button. The problem was that they were nervous, they were scared, and to hit that button was scary. Why did I teach that? Because I was petrified the first time I hit that go live button. Another course I've done was 5-2 fasting. The reason is people thought it was hard. I had done it for so long that I found a system in how I was able to succeed at losing 55 kilos fasting. And so the solution was the mindset I had around fasting that I taught. Right. And then, of course, we've had so many courses since then. I actually moved over all the courses from one piece of software to another recently. There were 75 courses in there. Now, they weren't all individual. Some of them were clones, but there were still 75 courses in this piece of software. So as you can see, I've got a bit of experience when it comes to making courses. And I think it's also with my educational background as well. So this is what you're going to do. Let me just move to the next screen. So you're going to have a few different columns, and of course it's not going to work on the screen now. Let me see if I can get this fixed. Local host, video pencil. That's the camera. Let's just do that. Hi. Let's go here. No. Course, it's going to mess up. There we go. All right, let's clear. It's working now. So you're going to have a few different columns, okay? So you're going to have this one, and then you're going to have this one, this one. This is going to fit, hopefully. We'll see. All right. So in the first one, you're going to do the problem. So what is the problem? And then what is the solution that you can help them with? Okay, so this will be your course idea. So you can write a few of these down. Then this needs to come onto the screen a bit more. There we go. Now, in this next few columns, you're going to rank them from 1 to 10. So is it a passion from 1 to 10, or you might call it your purpose? How would you rank that course idea from 1 to 10? 1 being, no, can't be bothered, don't like it. 10 being, oh my God, I could wake up and do these all day, every day for the rest of my life. All right, so you'll rank it from 1 to 10. Now, the next one will be your skills and gifts. So rank it again from 1 to 10. Do I already have that skill and gift? If you have to go out and educate yourself to be good at it, then it's going to be a low score. If you're like, I know this stuff, I could talk about it underwater, I've got, I know the thing, if you just give me a couple of dot points, I could teach it. It probably is an innate skill or something that you spent a lot of time researching, studying. So what are your skills and gifts? Then the next one is your assets and resources. So do you already, that's meant to be a C, do you already have a lot of assets? Do you already have a lot of resources? You don't have to go and make everything from scratch, right? So if you do and you have nothing, then that would have a low score. If you've got a lot of resources, maybe they just need a bit of tweaking, then it's going to have a very high score between 1 and 10. And then finally, we want to make money. So what is the profit potential? So with the profit potential, you can do a bit of research and see maybe other people have got courses out there, the ideas are out there, some kind of help things are out there, and are people making money on it? Now, you might think if you find a lot of them, well, then it's not a good idea. Actually, the reverse is true. If there are lots of people doing it, it probably means it's profitable, right? It's something that you can do. Think about what I do. I'm in the sales and marketing and automation space. Now, how many marketers are out there selling their knowledge and helping people, right? A lot. If you scroll through Facebook, I'm sure you'll see some kind of marketing person's ads. But it's a profitable market to be in. It's a big wide world. There are many people out there. So therefore, it's a good profit potential business model. And then at the end, you're going to put your total score. All right. So what this is going to help you with is to rank your course ideas as well, so that you can get a lot clearer on your course ideas. So what are we going to do now, guys? Well, now what we're going to do is a little bit of live GSD together. I want you to think about those 3 things. Write these down. What are my passions? Okay. What do I love to do? The second one, what are my gifts? So things that you have maybe studied for or trained for or learnt to do and refined it. Or maybe it's just something that is innately within you. You know, that thing that people are always thanking you for? Or you seem to always be able to add to the conversation if you're in some kind of situation to help people. And then the third one is, you know, what I've done through my life so far can I use to give back to the community, right? What are things that would benefit people to help me find my tribe? So I'm going to give you a 10-minute GSD to start brain dumping these things onto paper. Are you ready? Give us a head nod in the room. Yes, those who are ready? Yes, all right, here we go. We have a 10-minute GSD for you to get shit done and start brain dumping those 3 ideas out. 10-minute GSD. I hope you utilize that well and you didn't just go off and do something else because you're here. And it was time to get shit done, right? So let's continue on. I hope that you've come up with a few ideas. And this week as well, I want you to kind of ruminate on it a bit, like lean into it a little bit. It's okay to think about it. I remember the moment the idea for my first course about helping people go live came to me. I had been doing all of this. I had been writing down about all my history, things that I was passionate about, things I'd been through, trials I'd overcome. And I'd been thinking about it daily for days and days and days. And then I remember exactly where it was. It was at the Warn Pond Shopping Centre. And my husband had run inside to get groceries. I was sitting in the car in the dark and I'm like, I should make it about going live. Because I had a passion for photography, lighting, right? I was taking photos of pretty nails at the time. And I thought, and going live is about camera, positioning, framing, lighting. And also I had that fear of hitting the button because I was always the chick behind the camera taking photos of, children and pets, which are the two things people tell you shouldn't be working with. But also people would ask me how I was able to take really good photos of my nails. And then there were always questions about, how do I go live? How do I set up things behind the camera? So that's what it was. It was go live. It kind of linked a lot of things together. It would help a lot of people. And back then, I think the only thing that was out was Periscope, right? There was not even a Facebook Live back then. So who remembers the Periscope days, right? So I was petrified. I overcame that. I had other skills and gifts that I could help people with. And that was my very first course. It was called the Go Live in 5. And look where we are now with all this crazy video stuff going on. And when I did that, it was literally me, my phone, on a box with a roll of toilet paper. Yep, that's a story for another day. But that's how I made my first course. That simply, with a roll of toilet paper, a phone on a box. And then I started to show them the lighting and how to use natural light and all of those things. So I do want you this week to kind of sit with it for a little while and allow yourself time to sort of think about it. But, and it's a big but, by the end of this week, before our next session, you must choose a course topic. You must. And then you're not allowed to change it for the rest of the month because I want to give you the gift of done. Not everyone gets excited about starting things and they get kind of sidetracked in the messy middle. So therefore they never get to the gift of done. And I want to give you that gift of done by you sticking to that one idea, following along every week with the tasks and then building it in your software ready to sell. Now, whether or not you choose the software, we're going to give you some software to use, right? So that you can experience the build. Regardless of which software you choose to build it in, they all have very similar things. I'm going to be giving you templates to speed things up, to make it easier for you to have it ready, so that at the end of it, you will have something that is ready to sell. Okay, so this week, you're allowed to think about it, but then you must choose your topic by the end of this, before our next session together. Can you promise me that? Let me know in the chat. Hell yeah, right? And we're going to stick to this one thing all the way through the month. Even if you change your mind later, that's okay. But this month, that's it. One and done, all the way to the finish line. Okay, let's talk about your home play for this week. So this week's home play, you will be mapping out, brain dumping, which we started today, your passion and purpose, your gifts and skills, and the community that you want to build. Then you will start to do a bit of a course audit figure out the problem and the solution, and you're going to start giving it a ranking between 1, got a lot of work to do if I want to do this course, or 10, I can just do this underwater, right? So that is your home play, and then you will, at the end of all of this, choose a course. I can love it. I'm seeing all these hell yeahs come in. Fabulous. Great, Jenny. Fabulous, Sarah. All right, now for those of you who are here or you've made it to this part of the video, I've just dropped the link for you in the chat so you can get that workbook that wasn't attached in the email, okay? It is very sparkly purple and all the colours. So the workbook is there for you to download as well. Okay. In about the next half an hour, there will be a post that will go up in the Facebook group. The group is called GSD by OmniSam, and you will see this post go up. It is an accountability post, and on this post, you're going to put screenshots and photographs, and there's also a few questions for you to answer that you will see come up on that post. Every week that you comment on this post, you will get an entry into a prize draw, and I'm drawing prizes every week for you to win a copy of my book, The Fortunes in the Follow-Up, and also you'll get an entry for turning up live. So if you join us on the live, or if you comment under this post that you have watched the replay, you will also get an entry. So there's multiple ticket entries throughout the event. Even if you're joining us late, you can catch up, and every entry goes in and accumulates over the span of the month. So you'll have lots of tickets by the end of the month for our weekly prize draw. Now, I did tell you about me going live, but it's a little challenge I love to put into a lot of the challenges I do, is to get you to practice going live. Now, we have a very safe, non-judgmental community inside of the GSD by OmniSam group. And every week throughout the challenge, I'm going to give you a little go live challenge that you can do inside the Facebook group. I want you to get over that fear, because if you're going to make a course, it would be really nice to do face to camera. Not that you have to, but it is nicer, especially if you're in that coaching space, because the best way to really build that know, like, and trust factor is by seeing somebody talk, by hearing their passion, by seeing the excitement around what it is they teach. If you were just to see a standard post with just with writing and no video, how much longer would it take to build that know, like, and trust factor? So it's a little challenge. It's a bonus challenge. If you would like extra tickets into the prize draw, it is our go live challenge. And I would love you to do it inside the GSD community. And if this is your very first live ever, don't delete it. I deleted my first live and I regret it, because I can't go back and go, oh my God, that was my first live. I deleted it from online and from my phone. So don't do it if it's your first. All right, so let's talk about the live challenge. So this week, I want you to talk about, if you came with a warning label, what would it be? And then share with us what you like best about week 1 here in the Course Creation Challenge, and what's something you're going to do differently now moving forward from what we covered in the week 1 right here, right now. Okay, so there will be a post. Just ignore that. I don't know if these are all right. Yeah, there's a few things missing from that. So there will be that opportunity for you to do that live video. My team will be monitoring the group. So for every video, they will add a ticket into the prize draw for you. All right, next week. Why do you want to come and join us next week? Well, next week we're going to be talking about the different course types, also how to structure your actual course, and some pricing examples on how to price the course. So you want to be joining us next week, 9 a.m. Melbourne time, for the live stream. And I promise all the emails will be fixed and links will be working. And books will be downloadable come next week. So make sure you join us for next week so that we can take that next step between having a course ready to sell at the end of August. All right, guys, before we head off, I would love to bring up those who have joined us, maybe 2 or 3 of you, just to share your key takeaway and what you liked best from this week. Who am I going to call up? Make sure I've got the right scene here. I think it is this one. Hey, it's Ash. Hey, actually, she doesn't even realize. Hello, Ash. So before we actually move into talking to some of the VIPs, this is Ash. She is in week number 2. Is it Ash? 2? Yeah, I think so. 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Ash,
no, week 3. I'm started week 3.
Started week 3. So Ash is our customer success manager. Ash is my shadow for the next couple of months, learning all things that I do. And she will be stepping into the customer success manager role, helping and monitoring the builders. But Ash, why don't you introduce yourself to the community? We haven't done an official announcement yet out to the whole community, which I was planning to do via email. But anyway, why don't you share with everybody who you are and why you chose to join this crazy world of ours.
Hi, you've caught me off guard.
I'm good at that.
As we were speaking, we're fixing the back end stuff that we've just been talking about. So that's why I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I'm Ash. I've known Sal for 8 years now, going on 9, so quite some time. I have a background in customer liaison experience, so sort of the meat and the sandwich between 2 parties, making sure everybody's happy, and also team building, so working with small teams. And the stars aligned. A position came up within OmniSam, and Sal reached out, and I just so happened to be available, and I was like, actually, this is going to be fantastic. It fits both pieces together, where I can engage with clients and learn about them, because I'm the people person. I like to talk and hear your story and get real deep, but I also like to help teams grow and teach people things. So coming on with OmniSam is probably the perfect combination of all the things that I like to do, and I can be a bit techy and I can be a bit social, so it's a bit of everything. But I'm really excited to get to know everybody's businesses, get to know who you are and what you do and what you love, and share what I love as well. So very exciting. Thank you for having me. At the moment, I'm doing a bit of everything, and I think, as I said to some of the elites this morning, I'm just a baby. So I'm there's a lot for me to learn. If you'll have just a little bit of patience with me, I may not know it, but I promise you I'll figure it out.
I have to say that's definitely a big point. Ash is very good at just figuring it out. The other night I was fixing a few things and she's like, I know this is overtime, but can I stay and watch? And I'm like, yes, of course you can. So she loves to learn. All right. Joanne, why don't you come on up and tell us what was your biggest takeaway from today? And we'll wait and see what screen she comes onto. Hang on, I might need to add this one as well. Joanne. She's looking for the button. That's all right. While she's finding the button, let's bring up Sarah. Come on up, Sarah. Hang on, I've got to find.
Hi.
Hey, Sarah. What's a key takeaway for you from week 1?
Well, I've been in this business for a very long time, and I'd like to think that I know my client and I know what their needs are and how I can provide a solution for that. But I liked doing the audit where I can actually look at an idea, a course idea, and approach it a little bit more objectively rather than just say, I think my people need this. And then I can look at it partly from the perspective of what they need, but also, since I'm in business, what is the income potential for me? So I like how you pulled that all together. I think that's going to be useful for me going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah. What about Jenny? Hello, Jenny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you in here. So, what is your biggest takeaway from week one?
I like the exercise of going through your passions and your gifts and the community, what you can give to the community. So, it's a good foundation for working out what you should be um, having in your online course, rather than just thinking, I've got a really good idea, I should do this. Actually, basing it in a solid foundation.
Awesome. Fabulous. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this up. We are at the top of the hour, which is very unlike me to finish on time, but I'm going to try my best, right? I've got 1 minute to wrap it on up. So if you are joining us and you've made it to the end of this video, put a comment below. That shows that you're actually committed. Hopefully you've done your GSD. Make sure you submit your homework. And this is the only learning and development that you are going to do this month. You can go jump into something next month, because not only is it learning and development, but it is also going to give you a product to sell at the end of the month. I can't wait to get there with you all. I'm so super excited. If you want the workbook, it's around this video. Oh, the other thing I needed to share with you, before we go, is the Replay Hub. So here we are. This is the Replay Hub. You will be all getting a link to this page shortly. And on the page, what you're going to see is every week there's going to be a little workbook. So when you click on this, it's going to load the workbook, and it's the wrong workbook at the moment. But all of these will be added to this page. You can also check the replay button. So you'll see I'm in here somewhere. There I am. Shush. Shush, don't talk, Sally. And then your little buttons will come up. We're just in the process of fixing those buttons for the new day that is coming out. And then every week, the video will pop up here with all the new buttons and resources, so that all of the replays are here for you in the one place. Every week from next week on, we will be granting you, we will be doing prize draws. So for this week, there isn't a prize draw because it's the first week, but every week moving forward, there will be a prize draw for a copy of my book to get sent to you. So make sure you get all of the home plays done. Your live challenge will give you a ticket. Attending live or watching the replay will give you a ticket. Doing your home play and putting some screenshots of that in the Facebook group will also give you a ticket. Every week we'll do that prize draw. Anyway, guys, have a fabulous week. I can't wait to see all of these beautiful courses start to come together over the coming month. As always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day. And I will see you live next week at 9 a.m. Melbourne time for week 2 of the Course Creation Challenge. See you then. Bye for now.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of